In this, our fourth and final video in our Alaska cruise series, we're on our way to the capital of Alaska, Juneau, where we take a helicopter ride to a glacier. It was really awesome. Then on to Sitka, Ketchikan, and finally Vancouver, where we disembark. I'm Steve.
I'm Nancy, and together with Mars, the blind Sheltie,
And Phoebe, the warrior princess,
we are living our dream.
Our goal is to travel the U.S. and Canada in our 2016 Tiffin Open Road
While spreading the messages taught to us by our pets.
Keep smiling.
And be kind.
Join us on our travels by subscribing to our channel as we continue our great adventure.
And don't forget to leave us a comment to let us know how we are doing.
Juneau is a very unique capital. It is the capital of Alaska. However, you can only access it by boat or plane. We arrived at the cruise dock, and because we were one of the smaller cruise ships, we were located near the end of the dock. But it was only a short walk to where we caught the bus to our helicopter excursion to the local glacier. So here we are in Juneau, Alaska, where Nancy is taking a once-in-a-lifetime helicopter trip to a glacier, something she's been wanting to do for a while. Before getting on the helicopter for the ride to the Mendenhall Glacier, we had to undergo a safety briefing, as well as put on our crampons so that we could walk on the ice. Now, the helicopter ride to the glacier, and that was Nancy's idea. I just went along for the ride. But boy, what a ride it was. I'll have to admit, this was one of the best things we did during our cruise. The pilot took us out around the mountains so that we got an all-around view of the glacier and the mountains surrounding it. The ride was just as awesome, if not more awesome, than walking on the glacier.
Did you guys pay attention to the safety video?
Oh, yes.
Yeah?
Sort of.
You know what? I actually believe some of you guys.
But they didn't say...
She said sorta, and then, no, all bets are off. I'm from Alaska. I know a little bit about ice, and I'm just going to give you guys a heads up. It can be slippery sometimes. This ice in particular is not very flat. It's pretty bumpy. There are a lot of little slushy holes and spots. believe it or not, this is a gorgeous sunny day for us up here.
Oh.
So the ice is actually melting off pretty quickly. And that means that any area where there's blue, chances are that's going to have a little bit of slush on it. So I'd watch your step. All right, my name's Clara. I'm going to be your lead guide for today. And with that, we're going to head off this way if y'all want to follow me. As we know, water is warmer than ice, right? So anywhere with water is going to cause more ice to melt rapidly. And so the moulins just kind of keep getting deeper and deeper.
But this one's pretty deep.
Yeah.
This one seems to have just melted down into a little pocket, but sometimes it'll melt all the way down. You can see really, really deep, and it's just this little like sliver of crack in the ice. It's pretty cool. It's kind of acting like a stick.
1, 2, 3. I'm gonna get a couple for you guys.
Okay, thanks. Big boots on.
Now, we had plenty of time on the glacier, and it's very expansive, and you look at the expansiveness, but when you start to look closely at the ice around you and the things on the glacier, that's when it really became pretty neat. Before we knew it, it was time to catch the helicopter ride back to Juneau. The ride back was a little shorter, but still pretty spectacular. We had just enough time in Juneau to walk around a little bit before heading back to the cruise ship. Now this is a big cruise ship. Juneau obviously gets a little bit of income from cruise ships, but they, like a lot of other towns, are trying to sign laws limiting that. There's a law they're trying to sign limiting Saturdays or every other Saturday to just ships of 250 people or less. It's a tug of war, for sure. Don't always have to pre-book excursions on the boat. Towns like Juneau, they have several stops set up. You can book when you get here. There's the tram.
I came up here the first time in 19...
And there's the line for the tram. Yeah, it's wow. And that's our ship. Next stop was Sitka. Now, Sitka is located on the Baranof Island on the outer coast of Alaska's Inside Passage. Like most Southeast Alaska communities, Sitka is only accessible by air or sea. Though its harbor was small, so we had to anchor offshore and take the tender in. As soon as we stepped ashore, we spied a bald eagle. We walked around town a bit, and I loved the church, which spoke of its Russian heritage. One of the challenges of having all the people from the cruise ships, finding enough restrooms. This is how Sitka deals with it. Clouds are coming in. Nancy then took another boat tour as they promised a walk on a remote beach, while I headed back to the boat.
This is the beach that they brought us to. It's ours to explore. Our plans galore. Not much in the way of any other kind of seashells east of shells.
From Sitka, we then made it down to Ketchikan. Now, our ship docked at a new cruise dock a few miles from town, but they had a nice place to shop and pick up buses for their excursions. One of the more interesting ferry terminals. Oh, wow. Or just catch a bus into town, which is what we did. Initially, it was a bustling hub for miners seeking gold, and it later catered to the fishing and logging industry. Princess cruise ship docked here in town. This is where the bus dropped us off. The predominantly male workforce created a thriving red light district, which you can visit some history of on Creek Street. This sign on Dolly's house is one of the most recognized signs in Creek Street. It's a really nice boardwalk along the creek. It has museums of Dolly's house and a few others, as well as some really nice shops. No salmon yet. Wait a minute. We're not in New Hampshire. There's Creek Street. And there's the main cruise terminal. Now, Ketchikan is known as Alaska's first city, and it has a lot of history. So after a walk about town, we visited the museum. Ketchikan Historical Museum. This horse ran in front of the Ben Franklin store from 1936 to 2003. Still see the planes flying today. And we learned that the madams of the town were actually some of the most influential business people in the area as well. It says almost every building on Creek Street was owned by a woman. So you can see just how big the bear trap is. Yeah. That big bear trap. You also think of these as just tourist towns, but sometimes they're just towns. You know, with working people and grocery stores and shopping malls and McDonald's. We were at anchor last night, so they got to clean the anchor today. And that's where we disembarked and embarked. After Ketchikan, we spent one more night aboard ship as we headed to our final destination of Vancouver. We took advantage of the trip to get our last glimpse of the beautiful landscape and contemplate all that we had seen and done on this 10-day cruise with our family. Well, it's the day before departure, and I think our crew's trying to give us a subtle hint. Put our bags on the bed. We only spent one night in Vancouver, which was good, as we were all getting over colds we caught on the cruise. Hope you enjoyed this video, and if you haven't already, take a look at other videos we have in this series on the Alaska cruise. Thanks again for watching. Until next time, keep smiling and be kind. Safe travels, everyone.